Hey, what's happening? All right, so obviously people will come in and out of this. I'll give a few minutes as we'll talk before we get to it. Usually we do the live show where we watch. This time I'm going to try this. This is something new where we bring up topics. And if you have anything to say, chime in anytime. We can go on something new, but a lot of times we'll try to focus on the topics and just debate things that it would have been fun if we could have had Sanford and Son on now and been able to talk about it week in and week out. But unfortunately, we're unable to do that. So, yeah, I'll give it a minute or so, and then we'll see if anyone else checks in. But today, on today's show, we will cover three major topics. We'll hit up the ones where we got right now on our channel. We got the best one and done. Yes, this is live, Johnny. What's happening, Johnny? Yeah, this is live. So in this one, I'll have three topics we can talk about. We'll try to stay on course each one and then change when we've kind of gone through everything we possibly can. But the topics today will be talking about our one and done tournament. Who is the best as we're in the championship? I can't believe that Sonny Cochran's in the final. And he's actually, I believe he's in second place right now. Or is he right there? And is he right there next to Osgood? He's right behind Osgood, which is wild. Then we're also going to talk about what is in our opinion, we'll just go over some of the episodes of season 1. What were the best episodes of Sanford and Son in season 1? I don't have them all, but I do have like the top 6 by IMDb ratings, as well as our channel. We did vote on that in our community. What was and the Coffins for Sale won that, and so we'll hit up. Is anything really better than that? Does anyone have any opinions on why it could be better? And then also one that I seem to get a lot. We'll probably start with that, or if we get enough people, we'll hit that up. Is Grady. When I said it, I had a few people say, "Oh, Grady's not better than Fred." And I never meant it like that. I meant, could Grady be just as good as the lead? Because there's a handful of episodes, and I got them all marked down. So we'll talk about each one. And some of the ratings are even surprising on those ones with Grady, where you're like, "Hey, man, that's it? That you're only going to give that one a 6.9 or something like that when it's a fan favorite?" So we will cover that. Yeah, I love Grady's always the number one friend. I always like Grady the most, but when I actually checked into the history, Whitman Mayo, great guy, but when I actually check into the history of the character or the actors, Don Bexley, man, I love that guy. What he did throughout his life. Hey, what's happening, Share Money? He did fill in well. And so I guess that's the first topic we'll hit up right now, and because that was the most popular one. So when it comes to Grady, there's no one better than Fred. And you could tell, like, if Grady hypothetically got the role as Fred, I don't see him. He's not as fast talking. Forget the fact that Whitman Mayo's not going to bring Aunt Esther. He's not going to bring probably Leroy and Skillet and possibly Don Bexley. Like all these people that came from Red Fox, they're all gone. So we already know the show's already better, especially with LaWanda Page just from Red Fox. So we're talking about, could Grady have led the show? Let's say hypothetically Red Fox never came back. Do you think they could have continued with that type of formula? Like maybe not even write him off, but you say, hey, you know what? He had to move to St. Louis. He's got something going on there, which we know would never happen, right? We know that would never happen, where he would never leave Lamont, stuff like that. But could that have worked? And I got to say, yeah. I think Grady could have continued to carry the show, because the episodes he filled in, like you just said, Share Money, and like a lot of fans have said, that, yeah, Johnny, yeah, I think he could have, because let's go through some of the episodes. The first one he did was Lamont Goes Karate. I mean, we all know when we see that, you got JoJo Jackson, you got the karate trainer, oh Lord, he looks like he's praying. But in that one, yeah, I see Share Money, and that's what, hey, what's happening, Mark? Grady could carry the show, yeah. But yeah, when he did that one, but that's what I'm saying, it's like, that's why it's such a missed opportunity for when they try to do a spin-off. And I've covered this before, anyone who's been at our live shows, that they did the wrong formula for Grady. They made it a family show about his family, and you didn't involve everything that worked with that. But he did, Lamont Does Karate got 7.8 when it comes to fan voting on IMDb. Only 6 other ones in that, like 24, maybe 25 episodes in season 3. Only 6 others did better. And we know it's Legal Eagle, Mama's Baby, Papa's Maybe, which Grady was in both those. But the fact that it was one of the highest rated, and then we got season 4 as well, as we'll get to that. But the fact that he did so well, and it was one of the top 7 rateds for that season, so we know he could carry it. Then you get to, will the real Fred Sanford do something? You got Betty Hairston, and the way he worked in that whole episode, he could carry it, and I never felt like he was a replacement for Fred. Kind of like, way off topic, but with Three Stooges, when Shemp took over for Curly, I never felt like he tried to take over. He was just himself. He was just doing something else. Yeah. Oh yes, Mark, you're so right, Mark. That's another great point. I didn't even have that written down. Is that all the scenes with Esther, Grady totally carried. He totally carried. He could do anything. He could talk trash with her, and it was funny how he would seem like he was kind of nice. Like, oh, okay, like he's listening, he's all, well, Fred said you can't have anything, and he would always go back to Fred, but he can hang with Esther. He would challenge her, and the chemistry with them was outstanding as well. You know, so the fact that he got such good battles with Esther several times, she was in several of them, to probably help pick up the slack with No Red Fox. But yeah, he did so well. So yeah, short answer, we believe he could carry. I think he could have carried it for many more seasons after that. Lamont, yeah, great point, Share Money. Lamont, yeah, with Damon Wilson, they didn't skip a beat. And that's the thing, is that we love these episodes. Like, will the real Fred Sanford do something? That one got 6.8. I think as fans, a lot of us feel that's got to be in the mid-7s, like 7.4, 7.5. That was a great episode where, you know, she's trying to find Fred Sanford, and Hoppy and Smitty come, and all the craziness that happens with there. But then he also did Tyrant, Thy Name is Grady. That got 7.3. He did Aunt Esther and Uncle Woodruff. You just talked about that, Mark, how he had great... That's one of the best, in my opinion, from that one. I mean, they're all really good. I really like Lamont Goes Karate. Aunt Esther and Uncle Woodruff. Remember, that's when you had Aunt Flossie and Aunt Minnie coming over. So you got a whole mess of characters. And when he has that scene, right, I think Fred was always kind of putting Woody down, which, whatever, that's the character's personality. But the fact that when he was in that one, that Grady actually tried to help Woody. Now, we know he wants him out of the house. But their chemistry was so good. Yes, Share Money, you're absolutely right. The cast did a great job. Everyone, they didn't miss a beat. Yeah, they just kept going. It was like, you didn't feel like anything was missing. And the way Grady helped Woody, when he was like saying, are you a man? Remember? And he's like, I'm a man. Oh my gosh. I can watch that episode and get as many laughs as any episode in Sanford and Son. Doesn't mean it's better, but that was the point. No, at no time do I think Grady would ever surpass Red Fox. He was never Fred. It was Fred and Lamont. We know that. But as others have said, Lamont, great chemistry. They got along great. And oh, thank you, Share Money. See, sometimes when you're doing things live or you're filming, you forget every single line. But yeah, he's all, are you a cream pup? And then when Woody's all da-da-da-da-da-da, and he charges out, right? And he's all one down and one to go. And he's, yeah, great episode. Anyways, we could talk about that. I'd love to watch that one. Maybe next time we do a live show where we do a watch party, we'll do that one. Just all Grady's. We'll do a couple Grady episodes. But it's funny with season 3, and we know, is season 3, I want to say 3 and 4 were the highest rated, right? We know they were the #2 show overall, bringing in $15 million per episode. And it didn't drop when Grady was gone. Now, probably week in and week out, there was no internet, so you couldn't find things out. But week in and week out, people would tune in to say, hey, is Fred back? You know, or they just love the show. You love the characters. You love the people in it. If Lamont's there, I'm still watching the show. But they stayed. They stayed to watch, even if Fred wasn't there, because the show didn't skip a beat. And I easily think they could have did season 4. They could have did season 5. I don't know how long it would have lasted, how much everything would have changed. Oh, thank you, Mark. Yeah, this is obviously nothing. I just got the animal crack cookies with King Kong, Mrs. Kong, his wife, and then gorilla cookies. Take her face. I was wondering if anyone would ever catch on. I'm like, I'll put King Kong on top of the animal crackers. See if anyone ever says I could take your face in some dough and make gorilla cookies. But yeah, these are my favorite. My wife got me that for Christmas. They were very hard for me to get, very expensive. And then everything else, that's what I try to do, add stuff from the show. I'm still looking for things every time I go shopping. I'm like, hey, what's that? Hey, does this ever get referenced in the show? If it does, I'm trying to add it to the background. But thank you very much, Mark. So the best is when you get to season 4, because when we break down season 4, he only did 3. He said Fred's Treasure Garden. I mean, that is one of the most, when I had a different channel and we did a voting on the best of every season, season 4 winner was Fred's Treasure Garden. And I just thought it was so ironic that the winner of a whole season that Red Fox had returned was the episode Grady was at. And would it work the same? That's the whole thing, is it's a whole different, I don't see the lines the same. Like, I don't see Red Fox's lines the same as Whitman Mayo's. They're 2 different characters, but both of them delivered great and they could carry the show. But in that one, that was 7.8. That was the second highest rated show of that season. The number 1 being the stand-ins, where Bowlegs comes and stuff, which is a great episode. But so Grady had the second highest episode in season 4. He had A Little Extra Security. Now, that's another big one people love. I like that one. Not one of my favorites, but I like that one. It's towards the lower end of Grady's episodes for me. But, man, the Social Security checks, how they keep rolling in, people love that. And it only got 7.3, which is a shock. And then Once the Thief, that's one where I personally like that one a lot because it brings in Ron Glass. I like anything with Ron Glass. And then he's got the radio that gets frozen that he puts in the freezer and then all that stuff. So, yeah, with it, I mean, we've talked about enough. I just wanted to say, hey, it's fun. That's what this is. If you enjoy this, I'll try to do these once a week. What night? I don't know. It varies because I have so much going on. But I try and enjoy to do just discussions. And each week it'll be new topics, something going. And things like that, where we can talk about and laugh at it. Because as soon as I read, do you guys ever do that too? I mean, I'm constantly saying that on our responses to any kind of message. But when a line is quoted like you just did, Johnny, instantly when I read it, I don't read it as is my voice. As soon as I saw, I'm going to be watching a little bit of television. Grady, I read it in Grady's voice and you see the scene. Man, I love this channel and the fact that I'm getting so much joy out of it by the comments you guys say, the responses. Because whenever I get a quote, I'm laughing. Yeah, see, you see it too. Yeah. See, Johnny, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's so fun we're not, and if we're not watching it, we're talking about it. And that's what this channel more is we can't actually watch full episodes on here, but we can talk about it and go watch it on our own. But anyways, yeah, so that's a great point, Johnny. That was a great quote from that one. So I always do that. Just so you know, anytime you quote it, know I'm on the other end laughing because I'm reading it in that voice from whatever character said it. All right, let's get to the next topic. All right, so Grady's done. We all agreed. Yes, thank you, Shermoney. We all agreed. Everyone was saying that, yeah, they feel Grady could have carried the show as well. But, yeah, I did see some comments like, hey, no way Grady's better than Fred on the post. And I'm like, no, he's not better. I'm putting Red Fox number 1 always. So, no. All right, the next topic, we're going to go with best of season 1. Hey, what's happening, Bridget? Nice to see you. I'm glad you can make it. We just got done talking about Grady, how well he did, and could have the series continued on. So right now we're going to talk about the best of season 1. Why not, right? We're going to talk about anything throughout the next few years if the live show's enjoyable. But today this is what I thought, right? We're already done with 1. We're almost done with 2 on our channel. So in the best of season 1, this is how IMBD has it from fans voting. They got number 1, the Piano Movers. Now, I personally love that one, but I have seen in our community many people say, it's okay. Share Money, I think you were even one who said, it was okay, and then I inspired you. You said you might go watch it again. I don't know. Some people love it, and some people don't, but the fact that was voted not voted number 1, but had the highest rating of season 1. The slippers, yeah, Mark. I know. When he has to keep wearing those slippers, that is so funny. And when they leave him at the end, remember they can't, he forgot to, I was like, when I was watching this last time with my kids, they were like, oh, you got to go back and get the shoes. Yeah, see, I remember Share Money that you specifically mentioned that, and a few others did as well, but I remember you talking about it, that it's not, some people, it's just not their cup of tea. They don't bust up a lot. They don't laugh at it. But my kids were like, oh, they got to go back and get the shoes. And I'm like, I'm not going back because you don't know what's going to happen with that guy. I'll go buy new shoes and deal with this guy. So Piano Movers was number 1. But on our channel, it lost in the round it was in. It only had, it made the final. It made the final, but it only had 15% of the final. So our community thought it was cool, but like Share Money, like you said, it wasn't even close to being their favorite when it comes to top episodes. Number 2 was Coffins for Sale. Now that is one, Coffins for Sale. I have to think that most of us are going to say Coffins for Sale is the number 1 episode, and that was rated 8.0. So it's just 1.1 behind, not a big deal. But in the fan votes, it was 46%. So it won. It won on our channel tournament. When we did the best of season 1 tournament, the winner of that was Coffins for Sale. And yeah, Bridget, it's like, yes, we know that has to be it. Come on. I mean, you get the introduction of Melvin. Probably, and I've shared this before on our channel, probably the best ever first appearance of a character when he just walks in. He said, hey, Lamont. Hi, Fred. Goodbye, Lamont. Or goodbye, Fred. Goodbye. When he sees the Coffins, and he's superstitious just like Fred. And then Fred goes after him. He's like, man, dummy, you're going to chase all my friends away? So that... yeah, sure, money. Good night, Jackie. See, oh, I can't help it. I always read it in the... Oh, man. But, man, that episode, it is so funny. That the fact that when he does that... And there's so many... My favorite on there is when he's trying to sleep, and then he touches him, and Fred, like, gets up, and then he sees him, and he gets all scared. Or when he's like, I'm checking the back of my eyelids for cracks. He did when he walked in, Bridget. He's like, he did it so smooth. How he just turned like he was on a dime. So that I got to say is the best. Do you guys, anyone on here, anytime you say, hey, I like this one or that one, chime in. Yeah, and we'll see. I got to think most of us are going to say Coffins for Sale. And that's, when it talks about me, that's my number 1 from season 1. Don't be, yeah. I mean, Lamont, that's one of Lamont's biggest lines. And then he says it, he has to say it like 6 or 7 times in that. Where do you think you'll find them? In the still above ground. Where do you think you find him? In the fruit bowl? Oh my gosh. So this episode has many, many quotes, and it's some of the best stuff on Sanford and Son. It's one of those ones where... thank you, Johnny. Yes, it was awesome. It's one, like I said, where you go, you're watching each episode, you're like, this is good. This is good. Oh, I really like that. I like this show. And then that hits, and it's just like, takes it to the next level. That's what I actually loved about that one episode. Now, number 3 they had coming in at 8 point is Happy Birthday Pop. And this is a surprise. Happy Birthday Pop on our channel, it lost in the first round. It didn't even get a lot of votes. And you can share if you didn't love it. Happy Birthday Pop is probably, what did I have it? For me, I think number 3. I had it behind Coffins for Sale, Piano Movers, and Happy Birthday Pop. I can even bump Happy Birthday Pop over Piano Movers. But it didn't get a lot of votes. I don't know if maybe people just didn't enjoy it. But I just feel like it had so much happening when you're in the restaurant, you're in the movie theater, you're in the Chinese restaurant. Oh my gosh. We just talked about that on our last episode breakdown when it's... the Watts Side Story. And my favorite whole scene is that, get some cartoons up and get a pinball machine. Man, great quotes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And that's right. I was like, we've had other discussions before when we talked about Happy Birthday Pop in live shows. And it was always the same thing. It's like, Lamont's trying to do, hey, I love this. But remember, it... Yes, anytime, Bridget, anytime that I get that Chinese restaurant, isn't it only in 2? I believe season 1 and 2. But man, when you get that waiter and you get anything dialogue going in there, the Chinese restaurant always steals the show. And I think the waiter's a big part of it. I think the cast, especially when you got in season 2 when you had Leroy and Skillet. Oh my goodness. When they come in there, Skillet doesn't have to say anything. Like when he's tapping Leroy and he's pointing like this at the Miss Fuentes, that always kills me. Just his facial expressions, his motions, everything about that. The waiter did have great jokes, and all of them, yeah. The waiter is so funny, man. I gotta look at him up. I saw his name. It's like, I can't remember the first name, but it was Wong. I gotta look him up because I'm like, for the channel, diehard Sanford fans loved him. Do we know anything about him? Like, I don't remember any other shows he's been in, movies. I'm going to look him up. When his profile's in there, they don't even have a picture of him. That usually means you had a small career. But I eventually want to do something on our channel about that actor. But Happy Birthday Pop was a great one. Like you said, cartoons, pinball machine. Looks like a honky-tonk bar. Are they, Bridget? They're from your block? That's an awesome thing right there. You need to send me something. Oh, by the way, anyone who's here, if you want, you can go to on our channel page, go to where it talks about the channel description. I got Twitter, Facebook. I just put a Facebook page up to where we can go in there and talk openly anytime we want. It's a fan page. It's got 0 followers. I just opened it up. But it was basically for anyone like this, where if we just want to chat, you can tell me anything you want me to maybe break down, talk about this, talk about that. It's just something new for basically our community. And if our community grows, you can go check it out. Click on it and join so we can get cool stories like that. And then I can sometimes share them or put them in our videos. But number 2 was Happy Birthday Pop. The next one was, oh no, that was 3. Number 4, they had, I think, the suitcase case. That was another great one where there was money in that. So what is your favorite? Oh gosh, Bridget, yes. I mean, I just put a video, it's just a small one, but I'm trying to do small videos here and there where we talk about some of the best characters, the legends from Sanford and Son. So we get a background for him. I mean, I didn't know that Leroy was a shoe shine, and he did an act where he danced and sang while he shined shoes, and it actually led to a big part. I didn't know any of that about actual Leroy. So it's cool to learn those things. So anytime I get someone who says, hey, you know facts, let me hear them. I would love to do that. But they did, man. When they walked on screen, they just took over. They were so awesome. Oh, awesome, Mark. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's just stuff to where any of us want to comment. You can also, anytime if you want to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, you can. And then you can send me a personal message anytime. If you have a request, you want me to talk about this, anything for the channel that can help, I'm all ears, man. I never turn away help. Because we've had a lot of people in our community who have mentioned things. That's why we continue to do the live shows. When we do watch, like I'll watch it here, you watch it at home. It doesn't do anything for our channel. It doesn't give me ratings. It doesn't give me a lot of views. I don't care. I don't care if it's 4. I don't care if it's 3. I have fun, and that's the point of the channel, is to have fun with the community and to share things. So I think that's it for Best of Season 1. Mine was Coffins for Sale, Piano Movers, and Happy Birthday Pop. But a lot of the ratings, you also had Here Comes the Bride. That was 7.9. The Suitcase Case, 7.9. That was a great episode. But I think, honestly, at the end, it's Coffins for Sale, and then Piano Movers is based on the ratings, but not it. And that's the great thing about Sanford and Son, is that we have so many different opinions. Oh, Steptoe and Son? I've only seen like one part. Piano Movers, Mark? See, yeah. See, some people said, that doesn't move the needle for me. Others love it. I've only seen a little bit of Steptoe and Son. I watched it just a little bit to get a feel for it. It seemed like a funny show. And I got to be honest, I've had others say, I've read comments where they say, Steptoe and Son is better. I just don't know. I haven't watched a lot, but when I read about it, it doesn't seem like it has the same colorful cast. And I don't mean colorful. I mean like so many people. Like it seems like it had a much smaller. No, he was in A Hard Day's Night. But it's like a smaller unit. And I think with Sanford and Son, as we just talked about, we're going to talk about next, there's so many characters that make it so much more. But I will check it out. I will actually watch more than one episode. I'll actually give it. But I have read up on a lot. And I even did a review on our channel for that a while back, where it was like, hey, before Sanford and Son, there was Steptoe and Son, the comparisons and what's the difference on it. So, yeah, a lot of people have said, I've seen it say, when they go, oh, Sanford and Son is the best, we were like, no, Steptoe and Son is better. From what I watched, I felt like it was 2 different shows. Even though the ideas are the same, I felt like, yeah, I have seen some Still Above Ground where they are on YouTube. When I did see the one, you can find them on YouTube. But I feel like they're 2 different things, because you've got different cultures, you've got different sides of the stinking planet, and I don't look at it and go, oh, that's the same. Oh, that's Fred, that's Lamont. No. That's what I like about it. It's a huge twist. And also in that show, there's so many other continents that did Steptoe and Son. They did remakes, because Sanford and Son was so successful, other continents had their own from their culture. And some failed, some took off, but nothing took off as big as the original Steptoe and Son. I mean, heck, they even, I thought, made 2 movies. I would have killed for Sanford and Son to have 2 movies. Can you imagine? Oh, man. I mean, the show's great. 136 episodes, and we did get Sanford. It's funny when you get something like Sanford where you only got like 2 short seasons. It leaves you going, you want some? Yes, they are Still Above Ground, yeah. They're, I think, almost the entire season 1. What was the first one? There is an episode in season 1. It might be Piano Movers. There's one in there that is the first time ever that the writers just wrote it. I saw that. When he's acting like he's on the couch smoking the cigarette. How long have you been doing manual labor? My cough has not gotten better. I'm better from being sick, but man, if I laugh too hard, my cough goes bad. So it looks like most of us are in agreement. A lot of us like Coffins for Sale. Some of us like Piano Movers. And then also Happy Birthday Pop was good. But the season 1, what a great way to set it up. And a lot of it, yeah, like you said, Still in the Ground. A lot of it was taken from Steptoe and Son. but there was a few. And then season 2 and 3, now honestly, I did not know this until someone else had told me, but they said that there was also episodes, I noticed the names of them looking familiar, some from season 2 that are also Steptoe and Son. I used to think it was just season 1, and then everything else was American written and made, but it wasn't. There are a good mixture of that. Now let's get to our last topic, and that is the one and done tournament. Anybody, if you want, share your thoughts. How did you like it? We're coming to an end, and it looks like it's going to be, right now you got Big Money Grip, 51%. Most of us have to expect that. I can't see anyone beating. I mean, the whole tournament, even when he wasn't in that 4 category votes, people would say, oh, Big Money Grip. Like, you know, casual people who aren't probably even part of the channel, they might just see the post and they're like, oh, it's Big Money Grip. What is this guy doing? Why does he even have these guys? And yeah, it is. I mean, Big Money Grip didn't have to even play until the 5th round. He got to get a bye out of the first 4 rounds because why even waste our time then? But Big Money Grip, 51%. Second place is Osgood Wilcox. With Osgood, I'm not shocked. He is in second. I'm more shocked the fact that he's at 20 and not like maybe 40. Like maybe he's closing the gap like it's a 2-horse race. It's a Big Money Grip with the Big Money Grip with the swivel hip. Oh man. I do like him as bottom of the deck Dan too. He's so, and the fact that he can play 2 different roles, it shows his acting. The fact that he's sitting there and he's doing it and he's so cool and he's like, take the pup, Mr. Lucky. You know, he's different from, hey, man with the swivel, like the same attitude. It was different. Yeah, thank you, Share Money. I remember you mentioning that, saying, hey, you're kind of shocked at the voting. It's crazy to think that Sonny Cochran was in what? He was in the episode 8 minutes? 8 minutes of a 24-minute episode. Somewhere around there. Could have been 7. Yeah, Bridget, you're right. Of your uncle and friends. Oh, there you go. See, I don't. My stepdad reminds me more of Fred. My stepdad, he reminds me of Fred Sanford. He could talk to anybody. He'd always be like, you know, like in the episode with B.B. King where he's talking to people in the crowd and just saying whatever he wants. That's how my stepdad was. But Big Money Grip, I haven't had anyone like him. Big Money Grip is cool. He's too cool for anyone in my family other than my stepdad. Maybe he had an uncle like that. But Sonny Cochran, 17%. I mean, he's right there. How close he is to Osgood, that's how I thought Osgood and Big Money Grip would be. You know, maybe a 2-horse race. I wonder what would happen if we just put these 2. Maybe, I couldn't because Cochran and the Card Sharps were there too. Card Sharps at 13%. They're not winning. The fact that they did win their round and then the second round they actually made top 2 and made it. We had a big city. What's that from? See, I missed that quote. Uh-oh, someone's leaving. My wife and youngest son are leaving for baseball. So, Sonny Cochran, of all these people, who you voting for? Is anyone not going Big Money Grip? Share Money, are you going Osgood? Anyone taking Osgood's? Anyone here vote for Sonny Cochran? Like, I can't vote. You don't vote on your own polls. But to me, it's Big Money Grip. You know, and I always felt it would be. But in the past, just like, you know, you got to give everyone an opportunity. Because in the past, anytime Osgood. See, Johnny, you did vote for Osgood. I'm wondering if Share Money did as well. See? Yeah, and you took Oz. See, that's what I'm saying. Multiple people have commented, hey, it's Osgood, it's Osgood. And then he's not getting it. And if you stop and think, and that's what I want to do, stop and think and go, you know, what was it? If you go Big Money Grip, like when I break it down, Big Money Grip is cool. He is incredibly memorable. Right? We like everything about him. His outfit, his demeanor, his voice, the fact that he thinks he's stuck into Esther's room. But a big bunch of laughs that episode are at the expense of Grip. Like Esther, when she drops the bomb on him, when she is ready to knock him out. Let's both of us beat the hell out of him. Fred, when he's sitting there and calling him out, when he's talking with Esther, what's a dilly-dally? Jessica, hey, Jessica, so you want... Yeah, Big Money Grip is going to win. And justfully, like I said, I would vote for Big Money Grip if I could. But when I think about Osgood, I go, compare Grip to Osgood. Osgood came in. He had... Like, I feel like Osgood took over the set. He walks in. He's taking over the set. He's smelling the drink. He's doing all sorts of things. Big Money Grip with the swivel hips. Give me 5 so I can stay alive. Yeah, I love when he comes in with it. Cold Duck. You know, for years, I didn't even know. I thought he was saying Cold Duff. Because like the beer Duff from The Simpsons. Like I would hear it and I'm like, what's he saying, Cold Duff? And then I learned it was Cold Duck. But yeah, he is. Like I said, he's such an amazing character. He's such a amazing character that it's when he does that, when everything he does is cool. And the episode, the fact that his episode's the best probably is what pushes him over the top. Now, the episode's the best because of everything in it with Esther, Fred, Lamont, the touching scene, right? One of the best scenes in show history. And the ending when he's like, me, her, ugh. Such a good scene. So it's got to be Big Money Grip. And we've had a few people say Osgood on here. But there's no shame, right? I counted this tournament. I believe we had 29 or 30, possibly 30 characters that were on this show who just made one appearance. It's funny too. I don't know how many times I had to answer people when they're like, I would vote Big Money Grip, but he's already been in an episode when he the poker one, so I got to go with 3 Degrees, or I got to go with so and so. And it was like, no. And I always had to clarify it. It's characters. The same actor can come back a bunch of times. It's characters. So when you get at the end, I'm going to say Big Money Grip's going to win. And second place, I thought Grip and Osgood would be 90% of votes. Yeah, like you. And Johnny, share money, that's what I'm saying. That I thought that it would be like, when you look, you would go, okay, Grip's maybe got, 52. Osgood's got, 39. Something where it was closer. But the fact that you got 13 for Card Sharps, that's pretty good. That's a good showing for Card Sharps when you got Big Money and Osgood. But then you got Sonny Cochran. Like I said, he's almost like in an election where there's a neutral party. He comes in and he pulls votes from the other. Because if you take Sonny Cochran out, you wonder if Osgood would have had those. So it'd be 37-50, right? And it'd be a much closer race, possibly. That was Cochran, and he did qualify in his round. But at the end of the day, like Johnny, you said, at the end, my gosh, I still really loved Cousin Emma. I wanted Cousin Emma to win her round. The 3 Degrees did. I like Betty Hairston a lot, but Big JoJo Jackson won. And it's really, we all win in the end of this with the fact that these amazing characters were in the show, and we can vote. We got to say we knew most memorable would be Grip. But man, what a great, it's been a great tournament. Yeah, see, Cousin Emma. Sonny Gaines, yes, George. Sonny Gaines, on my old channel, I did a little, like a 4-minute, 5-minute video on him. I'm going to do one for our channel, breaking down Sonny Gaines. Probably once Sonny Jim Gaines, once we get to that episode. A lot of times, if you ever wonder my channel, just like I just did Leroy and Skillet today, I usually wait till we get to the character on the show, because then it's like, you feel like you're going like real life. Like, hey, this is new, and we just did that episode. Hey, here's this guy. That's why I love Season 2. We got Julio, we got Aunt Esther, we got Leroy and Skillet, like Bubba. So we got two if you count Sonny, Leroy and Skillet. But we got 4 new big groups of characters to work with, and I'm doing specials or anything on them on the channel. But yeah, the next tournament we got, it's going to be, we're coming close to Season 2. We'll do the best of Season 2 votes. I mean, this channel's not going anywhere. So we got, trust me, that's what I'm always thinking. What do I vote next? What do I do to make trivia? Oh, and then the last trivia question, because the last one I'm sorry. Some people look pissed on that last trivia question. I've had people say, that's a stupid question. Big Money Grip was dealing with a serious matter about claiming his son Osgood. Yeah. He did. And that's another point. Thank you for bringing that up before I get back to that last trivia question. That's why I love it. Anytime you get Fred and Esther, it's like I said, it'd be like Darth Vader and Obi-Wan teaming up to take down the Emperor. It's like you get Vader, you get Aunt Esther, and you get Fred teaming up, right? That's the best. Because we know in real life they're friends. We die when they go back and forth, but I actually feel guilty sometimes for Esther, because she'll say, how you doing, Fred? She'll be nice, and Fred just tears into her, and you're like, but like the one where they team up when they're trying to, when Fred's Columbo, or the one when they do the beauty pageant. Oh, that's one of my favorite, when they sing the duet. Like when they're together on the same team, that's one of the best, and that's why I think another key to this episode being so good is like you just brought up the point. Grip brought the best out in both of them, and how he tried to, tear down the honor of Elizabeth. And that's the only reason, and it's all fictional, it's all written, but if we base on reality, that's the reason Fred brought Esther. That's the only reason, because he's talking to her about, did she ever dilly-dally? But when Grip comes, he's like, hey, listen, Esther, I want you to listen to what he has to say. And then he says it, and that's when she gets she gets up and she wants to kill him. Oh, what a great moment, man. What a great episode. And we watched that on our live show together, and I can't remember laughing that hard. It's so fun. If you have not, I know a big chunk of you have, but if anyone who's coming in or out, if you haven't, watch our live shows. You can watch, you can stream it on a phone, stream it on your TV, stream it on anything while you're on a different device, watching it here, and communicate with us. Because when you watch Sanford and Son in a group where you see messages scrolling and we're watching it together, it is some of the best, because we all can't be in the same room together. As much as I'd love that, can you imagine us all watching it like on a big screen TV at like a pizza place or something? Oh my gosh. You could throw on any episode and we would be dying. It would be like we're at a comedy club. And it'd be so, and the best part, it'd be cheap, right? We already got it, just put it on. Oh, that would be so much fun. Yeah, I don't have a lot of friends who ever watch this show. You know, I'm out of all my friends through the years, they were usually whatever the new shows were. And I would, the beauty, yes, when they did the team up at the beauty pageant, Bridget, that's exactly right. That was one of my favorite. That's why it's actually in our channel's top 10. It was number 10 just on that fact. So you had number 10, they were together, and the number 1 episode of all time with Big Money Grip, they were together, and that's a huge part of it. But yeah, I know. Isn't that funny, Share Money? How when we watch Sanford and Son, it's like I can do that with other comedy shows, but I have to not watch them as much. But when you pop on Sanford and Son, I can watch an episode to review for our channel, and then watch it the next day and laugh at all the parts just the same. You know, Riley King. When he does that. I love Bubba in that episode when he comes in. He's all, hey, I'm BB, just like you, BB. And then he tells, remember he says, no, it wasn't Lipschitz. It was Winfield, Esther Winfield. Did I get it, Fred? Bubba wants to get killed. Fred's all, no, but you're going to get it. You didn't get it yet. You know? And what I love in that, man, I'm sorry, I'm way off topic because I was going to end the show, but we'll keep going. I still got to get to that trivia question. But what I love is in that episode when they're talking, how BB King just keeps laughing, right? Because he's not an actor. He's a musician. And it's the same thing, and our channel did that when we did the live show, remember? It's the same thing when you had George Foreman. When you get these celebrities on there who aren't actors. You know, it's not bull eggs, an actual professional actor who can come and do it. It's these guys who are athletes or musicians. And Lena Horne is a musician, but she's also an actor, and she did really well. Oh, yeah, Laura Simpson. I know people would have said that, but the fact that there were other characters better than her that didn't even make it out of their round, because I had a big group set, like 20, and then I was getting other suggestions. Oh, this person, that person, this person. And I'm like, okay, I'll add them. Big Money Grip's too good. Sonny Cochran's too good. So some of the guys I pushed to the end. Oh, Mark, you're lucky. You're lucky. You got to see them live. I mean, to see BB King live, man, see things like that. You know, it sucks also being, I mean, I'm older now, but I didn't really get into Sanford and Son until my mid-teen years. So I've been over for 30 years a fan, but it was like, that's why I said I wish the show was now to where I could go, hey, go get a picture with them, go meet them, go watch them in person. You know, that would have been so awesome. You know, it's disappointing. Yeah, Share Money, you know they were good. You know they were good. But what was I saying? We're all over the place. I apologize. That's why I had to have this thing condensed. But we talked about all the topics, so we're done. But with oh yeah, you were saying, what about, I'm Nora Simpson. She was such a small part where she just kept repeating herself. I'm like, and we had someone else who said, oh, Jane, what's her last name? Not Jane Goodall in the Family, as Fred said. But Jane, her name escapes. Remember, she's in the episode, one of my favorite from season 4, when they have the group therapy. And when Fred comes out and the guy's got the phone, he's all, excuse me, son, can you take your hat off in my... That part kills me when he says that. And he's all, I felt like doing a cock-a-doodle-doo. She's all, cock-a-doodle-doo! She actually imitates him. That episode, what's her name? She went on to host like NBC Morning Show or CBS. Jane something. She was a supermodel. Someone wanted her in it as well, and I'm like, it's hard. It's hard. Thanks, Johnny. All the great, right? We could go on the whole show. We could forget the topics and just chat about every little punchline. I mean, we could be on. Jane Kennedy. Thank you, you guys. Jessica and Share Money. Thank you. Someone kept pushing Jane Kennedy. They're all, hey, why don't you get Jane Kennedy? Thank you, George. And I'm like, she's in such a minimal. I mean, she kisses Lamont, which is a great scene for Lamont. Go see what Lamont talks about. Man, he talks smack on her now. He really did. And I guess maybe she was arrogant, but he Damon Wilson, in that interview that we've covered before on our channel, when he's talking about Red Fox and he's talking about his life and about his everything, how it went down, he talks about Jane Kennedy, and he's like, he kind of disses her even to this point, and then kind of mocks her body weight and how she's gotten big, all sorts of things. So you can see there must have been no friendship there. But anyways, Jane Kennedy, her role was so small. Like one person who I don't think he would have won, and that's what you got to get to the point is I wanted to get enough characters so everyone would say, hey, my character, one of my top 3 was represented. You know, it's almost like a sporting event. And that's what I love with these tournaments is you go, hey, that's my favorite. My favorite is JoJo Jackson. I want him in there. And then you see, hey, JoJo won. He made it to the next round. Hey, he lost in the semifinals. Good run for him. You know, he is one of the best of all time. But it's hard as I wanted the preacher from the one where Fred gets religion. Remember when he gets his own church? I wanted that guy in there. I was going to put him in. And then at the last second, I said, you know what? I don't think he's going to beat anyone. I'm going to put in Lou Turner. And then Big Lou Turner didn't do much. He did like 4 or 5%. So I'm like, maybe I should have put him in there. Because he was memorable. But to me, if you ask Sanford and Son fans, right? Lou Turner, season 5. Great. Yeah. The preacher guy. He was a weirdo. Yeah, that's a great episode. When Lamont, they're banging the drums. He's all, the 7-day junkets. Good call, Share Money. But remember when they're banging the drums, Lamont's all, we see you. It's so scary. Lamont, if that was me, I'd be like, dude, get me out of here. Oh my gosh. So great. That's a great episode. He would have been good, but I'm like, but Lou Turner, season 5 ratings did better than season 6. Go ask an average Sanford Son fan. They'll probably say, you both said it. Are you guys in the same house, Jessica and Share Money? You go by, both said, that's the second time you both said the same thing, literally back to back. A-E-I-O-U and sometimes Y. Jojo, yeah, I missed the comment. Sorry. Sometimes they fade. Good job, Johnny. But yeah, in that one, it's so funny, man, but I was like, I don't think he's going to beat Lou Turner. Lou Turner was so good, you know, and he only got 4 or 5%. So that's why I'm like, he wouldn't have won. He was memorable, but there is probably another dozen characters, including Jane Kennedy, including Nora Simpson, to where, you know, they could be the in the tournament, but I just feel their parts were too short. If they were too short, it's like, I'm not going to put them in. Because I don't know how many average fans would even remember that. Would they even remember that episode? They might. Would they remember if I said, hey, it was Jane Kennedy from Sanford and Son? I mean, most of us on here, the only reason you're here is you're diehard. You know everything. And that brings me to the quiz question. On that, it was JoJo Jackson was one of the funniest. Yes! Yeah, cousin. And I didn't even get to that, right? Because we were talking about that. I don't know if you were here. Were you here earlier downtown? But we were saying, we were going over all of Grady's best ones because we were like, could he carry the show? And we all agreed he could. Not better than Fred, but on maybe a tad underneath him, but good enough to still bring in the ratings. But in that one, Cousin Emma was 7.5. And I think 7.5 is a good rating. I would have said maybe 7.8. I thought Cousin Emma, that is one, like you just mentioned, people love. Oh, that's okay, Erica. Yeah, I know. At least you made it. I was going to be done at like 30 minutes because I thought we would talk, but then we have so many other things popping up that I can't even get to the quiz question. But that's why I love this. You know, this is what I was looking for. 5 people, 10 people, whatever it is. Vengeance is my ugly. And you guys keep dropping funny comments that I can't even finish my thought, and then we're on to the next thing. But yeah, thank you, Erica. I'm glad you're here. So, yeah, it is late night. What time is it here? 7, 8, 9. So it's 10 o'clock if you're East Coast. I'm 7, so I'm cool. I had Friday off. That's why I was able to plan this ahead. I'll try to do, like I said, it could be sometimes Thursday, sometimes Friday. I'd like to do this once a week. I'd like to do this to where I'll have topics all the time, right? It's a good way to just get to know each other and chat and have a good time. But let me so help me, if I start talking about this trivia question and we get a new topic brought up, I'm going to go nuts. That trivia question was hard. I would not have gotten it a week ago. If you had asked that question where I said, what was the room number where Fred fakes his heart attack and Lamont takes him and it's Fred's cheating heart and he switches the sides and goes to get, one of my videos I even said hernia surgery, and then you guys corrected me. Share Money, I think you were one of them. It's hemorrhoids. I don't know what I was thinking when I said it, but he goes to get hemorrhoids. As you see the door open and Fred's all, wait. And he's all, who are you? To the doctor. And that always kills me when he says that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. The door number is 393. The only reason I know, because I've seen this episode 50 times at least. It's one of my top probably 40 episodes of all time. Papa Banks, yes. Hey, no, don't worry about it, Papa Banks. It's one of the best. But when I saw the door number, I said, hey, 393. I go, I've never paid attention to that. That's a good trivia question. And people are like, oh, that's a dumb question. To be honest, you know the questions. I don't put dumb questions. I always try to put something where you're going to probably know it, or if you're an average fan, it's kind of tough. If you're diehard like most of our community, you're going to nail it. Most of the trivia questions, it's always 60% or higher. Occasionally, I'll get a 50, 40, right. Most of the time, we do get it right. But every once in a while, I'll see something in the background. I go, hey, you know what? See, thank you, Sharmani. It's not a good question. And like I said, if the Sanford and Son official channel asked that a week ago, I would have been like, dang, I have no clue. So it's not like I'm like some savant and I catch every background detail. I do catch some things to where, can anyone answer me this? It's not a trivia question. There's a character they have in the background of some episodes, not all of them, like season 2, maybe 3 and 5. It looks like Pinocchio's head. Does that look like a giant bust of Pinocchio? It's like this big. It's faded wood. It looks like Pinocchio's hat, the shape of Pinocchio's head. Like it could be a wood carving or a piggy bank of some kind. And it's real dusty and dirty. He's yes, Erica. But I always look at that and I go, hey, is that Pinocchio? And I'm like, if it is, I do have a Pinocchio statue. I'm like, he's going up here. I'm going to put him up here just be like that. It could be just something else that's similar. But if you do know that, or if you ever notice that and you know it is Pinocchio, let me know. Because that's one thing I've never been able to tell on that. And you guys have taught me things, just like when he arm wrestled, right? I just put that video out on that short. Oh, Pinocchio. Is it Pinocchio? I hope so. Because it always looks like it to me. Like I said, if it is, I need to put my mini Pinocchio up here. But the arm wrestling one, I don't want to get to that debate. But you guys, I'm just saying, you taught me. I always just assumed Fred won, and then he faked it to save face. And I still, part of me feels that, but the community's the votes, you guys have told me personally, no. He lost on purpose. He planned it from the beginning. That's why he probably challenged Fred. So we don't have to discuss it, because you guys have already beaten this dead horse and taught me that he did. But I just said with that background, what was it? But with that trivia question, yeah, I'm not going to do a bunch like that. I just have, and right now it was like, I think like 40% got it right. And then there was like another one, 30%. Who did Fred hate the most? Rollo, Julio, Esther, or Rodney? Oh, man. I don't think he hated Rodney the most. Remember, he even teamed up with them. I don't think he hated Julio, because even though he disliked him because he had his prejudice with the Puerto Ricans, he did shake his hand and say, if all Puerto Ricans were like you, Harlem would be a paradise. I'd have to say in that question, I would say, who was the other one? You said, I don't think it's Julio. I don't think it's Rodney, because he could deal with Rodney, and he knows his sister married someone that she loves. I got to say Esther, right? Like you're saying, Erica, I got to say Esther, because even when Esther's nice, Fred is mean. The only time he's been nice is if he's getting something out of it or he needs her for something, right? I need her for my circus. Yeah, I don't think he hated Rollo, like you said, Mark. I just think he didn't trust Rollo. Oh, I lost it. Retracted. Rollo, no, I don't think he hated Rollo. Remember, why are you always hanging out with my son? Lamont? That's my man. That's my main man. That's your man. Oh, man. That's a great, every time I think of Rollo, I think of that. That's my man. Is that Rita Lawson's boy? Yeah, no, because I don't think because he likes to clown Rollo. It's just part of his DNA, especially when he's always making prison references. Hey, isn't it bed check at the prison? Isn't it bed check at the jailhouse or wherever he says? But I would say, I think the good question, Rollo and follow. Rollo and Hollow, yeah, that's what it was, Johnny. Remember? Rollo and Hollow for his head. But I would say Esther. I would say it's Esther, because when he wants her for the circus to do her fire act, when he wants her for anything, it's just to help him. How many knocks does it take to open Fred's junk drawer? Oh, that's a great one. That's a great one. Let me see. And then they slapped aside. I'm going to say 4. When he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then slaps aside. Jessica, yes. When he's all, no, they were tucked in away in a corner with dark glasses. Oh, see? I guess we should do one of these shows one night where it's just, all we do is just quote the show. See who can make the quote. Yeah, it could be. Because remember, sometimes they go, and then he points at it, or he goes. One time I think it's just like a tap and point. But I would say the ones I remember the most is like a quick tap and then a smack and it comes out. Like even when he gets the wedding ring with Janet. I mean, there's a whole other topic. We can always talk about Janet. I like Janet. I wish the show would have had Lamont get married to her. But then you would have changed the whole flow of the show. But I didn't like Janet as much as I'm like, he should have married, what's her name? Sweet Pork Butt. She was super nice. She cooked for him. She was beautiful. He should have went with that. That never Grady. Lamont's like, oh, Grady, she's trying to get you, Grady. Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting. I got to do a short on that. That is one of my all-time favorite lines with Julio. When Grady's talking to Julio, Judy, there we go, Judy. Oh man, Lamont should have married her. That's a great one, Mark. Oh, a looker and a cooker. I never heard that. How have I never heard that line? But that is so good. But they should have did this. She was crazy in love. But I love when she's all, I ain't gonna marry any of you fools. But no, I love the fact that when Grady's talking to Julio. Remember when he's talking to Julio and he's like, hey, how do you know if the girl thinks I got it or whatever? And then he's all, the girl only wants one or two things, your body or your money, and you ain't got either. That's one of the best. Because Julio's so true. Especially for Grady's age. If you're an older man, you better have a good body, be in shape for your age, or you better have money. And he had neither. And so he's all, you ain't got either. So, like when Julio always says, man, I really wish Julio had stayed in the show too. But that's a little, see, those are the scenes where I forget, right? I forget. And that's why I'm like, there's so much great stuff that I'm like, I always go, oh, I'll remember it while I'm working. A line will pop in my head. I'm like, I got to make a short on that. Social Security. Yeah, George. So, yeah, she wants Social Security. Julio did not while back. What is that? Oh, I missed that. Maybe you mistyped it, Erica? I didn't get that one. Julio did not while back. Oh, he didn't. Maybe he didn't want back. Well, I know he went on to Barney Miller. And I finally didn't call it Barnaby Miller, but Barney Miller. But yeah, I liked Julio. But maybe he was just on. Well, think about it. Any of us. Oh, Julio, hold back. Think about it. If you're Julio, if you got it right now, you're in a show where you're part-time, right? Every 5 episodes. Or you can go full-time every episode, right? That obviously helped his career, too, because he went on to do many other things. So, but, yeah, the trivia question, I will go back to making them where most of us are going to get them because you guys know them, but I'll go back to making them where he did. There we go, Erica. There we go. I was thinking you meant like he didn't want to come back. And then I'm like, well, he's going to a different show. Yeah, he didn't hold back. And that's what I loved about it. He was just straight up. And that's one of the best things on Sanford & Son is that a lot of the characters don't hold back. Like nowadays, everything's held back. Everything's politically correct. Everything is... These guys, it's so refreshing to just see them say, hey, see what they're saying, what they're feeling. And you still have some guys like Lamont, they'll have some taste. They're not going to rip it off like a hard Band-Aid like Lamont or like Fred does. But... So I think that's it for tonight. Thank you guys for everyone who showed up. You know, it's been fun. It's been fun. Hey, thank you for showing up, Erica. I don't care. Better late than ever. Like I said, you got some lines in, and you actually made some good points as well. So the live show, let's see. I work next Saturday. I don't know what time we'll get off. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'll do this again. We're 3 topics, but we know the topics can go anywhere. I like when Fred had to meet Janet's ex-husband. Oh, gosh, yeah. The military. That actor, I don't know what else he's ever done, but something about him, I just never like any characters he does. Like, I didn't like him in this as Janet's ex-husband. He's a nice guy. He seems like a nice guy. But he was also a police officer in What's Happening, the very first episode. Have a good night, Jessica. Thank you. And pretty soon we will have a live show. We're going to do this once a week. Even if it's 30 minutes, you know, this one went on for almost an hour, but even if it's 30 minutes, we'll do this once a week. And then the live show we'll do more where we watch the episode. That's really fun, too. That opens a lot of dialogue right there because we're watching and laughing at the show. But in that one where he was a police officer and What's Happening, I just didn't like him there, too. Have a good night. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you. All you guys on here, thank you for supporting this channel. Because these live shows, if you take you guys off, you got people coming in and out for a minute and taking off, and there's no conversation. So I love it. James Watson, there we go. Yeah, see, I never remember his name. But good actor. I've seen him in other things, but in when he was Janet's husband and in that episode of What's Happening, something about him just kind of rubbed me weird. Like I was like, yeah. Thank you, Erica. It's fun because of you guys, right? I play off what you guys say, and you see, you guys keep giving me lines, and then I forget when I'm trying to make the point, which is actually hilarious. So, hey, thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Julio was awesome, Bridget. Julio was, yeah, man. Hey, Julio, we've already covered before. Nicest neighbor you could think of. Good night, Share Money. Good night, Erica. Yeah. And like I said, go check out some of the newest videos we got. And I'll see you on Tuesday. Although I might have something Sunday. I'm thinking of, I'm going to do a video for the final, or I'm probably going to rank, because I'm pretty sure we know it's going to be Big Money Grip's going to win. So I'm going to do a top, like all the people who were in the tournament, and I'm going to line them all up. Good night, Erica. Thank you for showing up. It means a lot to me. Thank you, guys. But I'll have an episode hopefully up by Sunday. So have a great weekend. Be safe. And talk to you guys later. Peace. All right. Thank you, Erica. Bye, guys. Be safe out there.